It is much easier at all times to prevent an evil than to rectify it after it has once taken place. These words, spoken by George Washington, reveal a man of foresight and resolve. They echo through the corridors of history, reminding us of the wisdom and prudence that guided his every decision. These words, spoken by George Washington, reveal a man of foresight and resolve. Washington's life was a testament to these principles, as he navigated the turbulent waters of revolution and governance with a steady hand and an unwavering heart. Yet behind the stoic facade of America's first president lay a heart touched by both love and profound sorrow. His public persona was one of strength and determination, but privately he grappled with the same emotions and challenges that we all face. This is the untold story of George Washington, a tale of personal sacrifice hidden beneath the weight of a nation's destiny. It is a story that goes beyond the battlefield and the political arena, delving into the very soul of the man who would become a symbol of American ideals. History remembers Washington as a brilliant military strategist and the father of a nation. His leadership during the Revolutionary War and his role in the founding of the United States are well documented and celebrated, but there is so much more to his story. But few know the depth of his personal struggles, the silent battles fought within his own heart. Washington's letters and personal writings reveal a man who was deeply introspective, often questioning his own decisions and the path he had chosen. This is the story of a man forced to choose between personal happiness and the fate of a nation yet to be born. His marriage to Martha Washington was a source of great comfort and support, but it was also tested by the demands of his public life. This is the story of a love tested by the fires of revolution, a love that shaped not only Washington's life, but the very soul of a nation. The bond between George and Martha was a cornerstone of his strength, providing him with the emotional fortitude to lead a fledgling nation. Join us as we delve into the untold story of George Washington, a story of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Through the lens of his personal experiences, we gain a deeper understanding of the man behind the legend and the profound impact he had on the course of history. Washington's legacy is not just one of political and military achievements, but also of personal integrity and resilience. His home at Mount Vernon stands as a testament to his life's work and the values he held dear. In his private moments, Washington would often retreat to his study, where he would reflect on the events of the day and plan for the future. It was in these quiet moments that the weight of his responsibilities would bear down on him, yet he remained steadfast in his commitment to his country. The America that Washington helped to build was a land of promise and potential, a nation forged in the crucible of revolution and guided by the principles of liberty and justice. His vision for America was one of unity and progress, a vision that continues to inspire us today. As we explore the untold story of George Washington, we are reminded of the enduring power of the human spirit and the profound impact that one individual can have on the course of history. Washington's legacy is a testament to the strength, courage, and resilience that define the American character. In the heart of colonial America, where the streets were alive with the hustle and bustle of daily life, a young George Washington navigated the complex and often treacherous path of leadership. Born into a world of uncertainty and opportunity, Washington quickly rose through the ranks, demonstrating a natural aptitude for command. As a colonel in the Virginia militia, he faced the brutal realities of war. The harsh conditions, the relentless enemy, and the constant threat of death were his daily companions. The French and their Native American allies presented formidable challenges. The French and Indian War was not just a battle for territory, but a conflict that would shape the destiny of a continent. The war's outcome would determine the future of North America, and it ignited a firestorm within Washington's soul. Amidst the chaos and bloodshed, he found himself questioning his purpose and the cost of his ambitions. The war-torn battlefields were a stark reminder of the price of freedom. Yet in the midst of this turmoil, Washington found solace in the arms of Sally Fairfax, a woman of captivating beauty and sharp intellect. Their relationship was a sanctuary, a refuge from the horrors of war. Sally's presence provided Washington with a sense of normalcy and hope. Their connection ran deep, a bond of shared dreams and unspoken desires. They envisioned a future together, one filled with peace and prosperity. Yet fate, it seemed, had other plans for the young colonel. Washington's growing reputation for courage and leadership caught the attention of influential figures. His actions on the battlefield did not go unnoticed, and soon the Continental Congress began to take note. When the time came to choose a commander for the newly formed Continental Army, all eyes turned to the young Virginian. The decision was not taken lightly, as the future of the colonies hung in the balance. Washington was formally appointed, a moment that marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life. The weight of a nation's hopes and dreams rested upon his shoulders. As he addressed his troops, he understood the enormity of the task ahead. The responsibility was immense, but Washington was determined. He knew that the path to independence would be fraught with challenges, but he was ready to lead his men through the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. With a steadfast resolve, Washington began to strategize, planning military campaigns that would eventually lead to the birth of a new nation. His journey was just beginning, and the young colonel was prepared to face whatever obstacles came his way. The legacy of George Washington would be built on these early experiences, shaping him into the leader who would become the first president of the United States. His story is a testament to the power of perseverance, courage, and vision. And so, the young colonel's dilemma became the foundation of a nation's independence, a story that continues to inspire generations. The Revolutionary War erupted, tearing apart families and testing the very fabric of the American colonies. It was a time of great turmoil and uncertainty, where every decision could mean the difference between freedom and subjugation. Washington, now General Washington, led his ragtag army against the might of the British Empire. His leadership was a beacon of hope for the colonists, who saw in him the embodiment of their struggle for independence. Every victory, every setback, weighed heavily upon his heart. The burden of command was immense, and the stakes were higher than ever. Each battle brought new challenges, testing not only his strategic acumen, but also his resilience and determination. As the war raged on, Washington received devastating news. The constant flow of information from the front lines and from home was a double-edged sword, bringing both hope and despair. Sally Fairfax's husband, a dear friend, had passed away. This loss was a personal blow to Washington, who had always valued his friendships deeply. The news brought a wave of sorrow that was hard to shake off. The news stirred a mix of emotions within him, grief for his friend, but also a flicker of hope for a future with Sally. Their bond had always been special, and in the quiet moments he allowed himself to dream of what might be. Yet, duty called, demanding his unwavering focus. The war was far from over, and Washington knew that his personal feelings had to be set aside for the greater good. His commitment to the cause was unshakable. The war became a crucible, testing Washington's resolve and forcing him to confront the depths of his own heart. Each day was a test of his loyalty, not just to his country, but to his own principles and values. He penned heartfelt letters to Sally, expressing his admiration and longing. These letters were a lifeline, a way to keep his humanity intact amidst the chaos of war. They were filled with words he could never say aloud, but which carried the weight of his deepest emotions. But the weight of his responsibilities, the fate of a nation hanging in the balance, cast a long shadow over their unspoken love. Washington knew that his duty to his country had to come first, even if it meant sacrificing his own happiness. The war was a test of loyalty in every sense, challenging him to stay true to his mission and to himself. Section 4. The choice, duty or desire. Washington found himself torn between two powerful forces, his love for Sally and his unwavering commitment to the cause of American independence. Every letter he wrote, every moment stolen to think of her, was a reminder of the life he might have had. The war raged on, a relentless tide of battles and bloodshed. Washington, ever the stoic leader, buried his personal anguish deep within his heart. He understood the magnitude of the task before him, the immense responsibility he carried on his shoulders. In the quiet moments, away from the clamor of war, Washington faced his own internal conflict. Could he, in good conscience, pursue personal happiness while his countrymen fought and died for the ideals he held dear? The answer, as agonizing as it was, became increasingly clear. Section 5, a silent struggle bearing the burden of command. The Revolutionary War dragged on, testing the limits of human endurance. Washington, ever the steadfast leader, led his troops through unimaginable hardship. Yet beneath the surface of his unwavering resolve, a silent struggle raged within his heart. He received letters from Sally, filled with words of comfort and encouragement. Each letter was a bittersweet reminder of the life he had put on hold, the love he yearned for but could not fully embrace. The burden of command weighed heavily upon him. Washington understood that his every action, his every decision, had the power to alter the course of history. He could not allow personal feelings, however strong, to cloud his judgment or weaken his resolve. The fate of a nation rested upon his shoulders.